Thanks for joining us. If we haven't met before, I'm Tom, and the sun is right there in front of me, so I'm kind of backlit right now. And what we're going to do is, it is busy. It's busy at South Beach. Let me pan around here behind me. You can kind of see a lot of people. Of course, it's Memorial Day weekend. And just a moment, I'm going to bend down, grab the iPad. And if somebody could put a comment section and let me know if the audio is working well, I would appreciate that very much. I'm watching myself on the iPad so I can monitor comments. You got to remember this is a one-man operation. There's Maria right there. Maria's behind me. She doesn't like camera work. Working great. Thanks, Robert. Appreciate it very much. Appreciate that very much. Okay, I'm going to turn this around real quick. And it's going to be a good sunset tonight. So let's take a look at South Beach. Pretty busy yet. And people are streaming onto the beach now for sunset. I can tell there's been some partying going on today, and it is obviously holiday weekend, so that's to be expected. But I was out riding around on the e-bike this morning, and I did not really notice a whole lot of traffic other than all the trailer parking spaces were taken up at Caxambas Park. So there's a lot of boaters out, a lot of people out, and a number of private jet skis were going in and out. So I know those get pulled all over the place from all over Florida and brought to Marco Island during the holidays. And so I thought that stood pretty true. Let's see. Got some guys, oh, volleyball. Thought that was a football running behind me. There's a beautiful shot in colors. Hopefully that's coming through for you. I'm going to adjust things just a little bit. I try not to get too shaky tonight. If you have any questions, ask them. I don't know that I've got the answers, but we'll talk about it. So you got some people setting up in front of us here. I knew that was going to happen, but I just sort of set back a little bit so we people watch as well as sunset watch. But it's going to be a good one tonight. A few clouds in the sky, not too many. Over about an hour ago, over the Everglades, a bunch of dark clouds came through, and I thought, we could get some rain, but no, it's not raining at all. Let me come back around by Cape Marco. And I'll do a little zooming in here. Let's take a look. A lot of families, a lot of groups here tonight. Normally, if you've joined these live streams before, I've done them at Residence Beach, but I thought I'd change it up just a little bit because I knew it'd be busy down here. Can you guys hear the music in the background? Hopefully not. I'll have to try to edit that out later. Don't want to get a strike by YouTube. Got a few things we're going to talk about tonight, but again, if you guys know, good. Thanks, Robert. Appreciate that. The water, great temperature the water is. Maria and I were out on Wednesday, and we went down to Blind Pass. So if you've been to Marco here recently, you'll know there's a lot of seagrass that has come up on the beach, but it's not the sargassum seagrass, the one that kind of dark colored and ends up smelling. It's actually a white one. Or I'm sorry, starts green, turns white, and it looks like chopped up tiny coffee stirs, little almost looks like straw. Looks like it's almost man-made, but it's not. And it ends up breaking apart, very uniform. And it was all over out in the Gulf. We went we went from Caxambas Park out into the Gulf and south, and on the south end of Kais Island, the Blind Pass, and it was pretty much in the water the entire time. It kind of group up every once in a while. They call it manatee grass, and I wanted to learn a little bit about it, so I Googled it, and it's one of like I don't know a few dozen seagrasses that just kind of grow, and they're green on the bottom of the ocean when they grow, and when uh, when it gets dry and stuff, I don't know why they would get dry if they're on the bottom of the ocean, but uh, it separates and gets pulled up on the beaches, and then it kind of disintegrates, and they say gets blown up into the dunes, becomes fertilizer for the grass. So, but it doesn't stink. That's a good thing. It's not really in the way. It would not uh, it would not alter your enjoyment of the water. How about that? Steve, I believe you. I don't live on the beach, but we do live here in Marco and have access. Let me ask you this, Steve. Do you ever go, hey, I haven't been down to the beach in a little while. I must be taking things for granted. Does it ever get like that for you? Because a few times I've had to remind myself, I'm like, go to the beach. Maria as well. We'll come down, walk the beach. Uh, but usually when we hit the beach, it's kind of in our little tiny boat, and we go hit one of the other beaches. So we end up not coming to like Residence Beach or South Beach very often. And then you go, hey, you know what? You got nothing to do. Let's go take a walk on the beach. And we usually do that in the evenings. But we don't do it probably as much as we should. That's what I. Sun's getting closer. I'll let you look at that just for a moment. Anybody want to know what's going on Marco? Obviously, the season is done, and I read a report today where I think the number of visitors in Collier County over the season was down about 3.5%. And whenever I talked to owners of the restaurants, they would tell me, you know, 10 to 20%. They thought it was down. So it is down, uh, but traffic wasn't down. So whoever was coming, they drove separately because I think traffic was as bad as ever. However, the city is going to start a project, and it's going to take almost a year to do it. But that turn lane on Barfield, as you come across Jolly Bridge, and take that left on Barfield, there, and don't quote me on this, but that turn lane is going to end up being about 3 times as long as it is now, and they're putting new signals in there, and they passed, for the budget, they passed all that, approved it, so that's going to happen. The problem is that a lot of the work's going to probably go during during season next year, and the reason being is they've got a lot of infrastructure work to do when they tear that up. Evidently, it's not just taking out the median and making that turn lane longer. So the infrastructure's got to go in, and different contractors. Obviously, contractors aren't laying around waiting for Mark Island to call them. So uh, they've got to work within their schedules. And that's really what happens whenever people say, "Gosh, why would they do that during the season?" Well, the contractors are Florida contractors, and so they have other municipalities that they're taking care of or addressing our contracts in, and that's it. I'll give you a great example: 951 boat ramp, which I do some update videos on, and just did one this past week. That's way ahead of schedule, but they had a huge barge there for the majority of the project, and they started the project right before season, and they removed the barge. I talked to the project manager, and it went straight up to North Naples to another project that was waiting on a barge. So the barges aren't that plentiful, and Marco Island evidently can't command everybody else to stop working, and so they can do it outside of season. And that's it. Oh, I will add this: the price of that Barfield turning lane project don't quote me on this, but I think it's like doubled or more because Mark Allen did request that the work get done at night. So the heavy lifting is going to get done in the evening. Of course, that's overtime, and with whatever agreements the contractors have with their unions and whatnot. So people are getting paid more, and it pretty much doubles the cost of that project. So they are doing that in order to alleviate some of the hassle. Um, this week, I I attended a workshop for burrowing owls with the Beach and Coastal Advisory Committee for the city of Marco. They had it, and they had representatives from all types of companies and all types of professional entities uh, that are focused on wildlife and the burrowing owls. The issue is people using ro- rodenticide. It's hard for me to say that, rodenticide, uh, rat poison, and then the the owls are eating the rats and they're dying because they've ingested the poison that's been introduced into the food chain. I've got a video coming up on that. That'll come out Thursday, but that was very interesting. Um, another thing, e-bikes. I knew this was coming. It was a matter of time, and I'll come back to this. Paul, how's Campus Park? It's fantastic. It's like brand new, and I go there a lot. I like to ride all the way down to the end there, hang out a little bit, do whatever. I was there this morning, and a couple guys from New Jersey that have a place down here. They came down for 8 days. They were fishing, so I was talking to them. Then another gentleman showed up, and they're all catching some little sheep heads and some oh gosh, I forgot the name. But anyway, it was all small fish they were catching right off Caxambas. But today was the first time I saw Caxambas full. All the trailer spots were full, but that's because it's holiday weekend. Maria and I went out of there with our boat on Wednesday, and I don't know, there might have been half dozen boats or so. So yeah, Caxambas Park is great. Let me pan around here before we get to this. So the e-bike ordinance, I knew the e-bike ordinance was coming because in talking with people in the know, I know that they were sort of waiting on uh, Collier County to come out with their e-bike ordinance first, so maybe they could make it as compatible with that. Collier County came out with theirs last week, and or I'm sorry, last month, and then they just working on the draft for the city council of Marco, and they actually presented Chief Rosano presented that to the council this past week, and I'd already read everything that's on the proposed ordinance, and to be honest, I thought it was all uh, very logical. It wasn't heavy-handed at all, and of course, that's just a draft, so that's not what the final one's going to say. But I did give them some feedback. Collier County's is a little more strict, and that is because think about this: Collier County does not have the bike infrastructure that Marco Island does. We have more shared use paths, we have more bike lanes, and so it's easier to accommodate e-bikes when you've got that structure in place. And so, to be honest, I thought it was a good start. And I think the big thing is the education in the schools because we know kids get out there and they're screaming down there like they're mini bikes, and then also 15-mile-an-hour limit is going to be put on the bike paths. And my input was uh, during the education process if they could tell tell the kids or whatever, that doesn't mean you can pass people at 15 miles an hour. That would be way too fast. If you watched any of my older videos on e-biking in Marco Island, I've said I thought 11 to 13 miles an hour was good for speed, but obviously that's kind of a silly number. You need to go with good solid numbers. So 10 would be too slow, 15 or 20 would be too fast. So 15's right there in the zone. We'll see how that goes. And I think if they regulate the speed somehow, and they're going to work on enforcement. And I will say this: they're not so much concerned with enforcement as they are education. So that's really kind of cool as well. So thought a lot of common sense in that discussion, and I'm not worried about anything. They did talk about class 1, 2, and 3 e-bikes, but they didn't restrict anything. And basically, it doesn't really matter what kind of object you're riding. It's all about the speed and the courtesy on the path. I've got a car. My car can probably go 110 miles an hour, 120 miles an hour. However, uh, I don't ride down the road that fast because there's an enforcement process involved. So just because it has capability does not mean that it's going to be used. Now, if you address the issues with the young people, that's probably 75% of your issues right there taken care of, wiped out. So that's just my opinion. Um, anyway, there, I gave some feedback to the chief through email, and they're going to probably pass that sooner than later. That's going to come up. What else? Blind Pass. When we were down at Blind Pass, let me back up just a moment. The on Let me see, on Tuesday night I attended the Salt Strong event, uh, a membership meeting, I should say. Salt Strong is a saltwater fishing club here on the island. It's open to anybody. They hold it once a month. It's on Tuesdays, and it's at the Jewish synagogue on the corner of Peru and Winterberry, and it's a really good group. Uh, and to be honest, I don't do as much fishing as I probably should, but I love the people there. There's men, there's women, the fellowship. Uh, there's no cliques. Everybody talks to each other. It's really really cool. Brett Paulson is the president of that, and Chris Hines is kind of the program, the director of tournaments and whatnot, and they do a fantastic job. So anyway, so I was there. The speaker that night was a charter captain that takes people fishing all over. I mean, they go down to the Keys, up to Tampa, anything in between. And he was saying the water's really clear right now because of lack of rain. And when we went out to Blind Pass, it was like we were in the Keys. It was a negative low tide. That that sandbar that comes up, that shoal on both sides of the entrance to Blind Pass from the Gulf. That was there, and that was probably a foot or more out of the water. So because of the negative low tide, and we hung out there, it was gorgeous. Matter of fact, in terms of boat on the water days, it's probably number one. That doesn't take too much in my book, or too much to impress me, but it was probably our number one day. There's Adventures Outdoor. Hey Steve, how you doing? Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. People in the water temps. I'm not sure what they are right now. There's a couple skim surfers down here. Let's see if I can see them. And I want to get back to the sunset and let you see that. You can see, let's see here. We'll zoom in on the flag. That's what I love about Marco. There's a lot of patriotism here. There's some music around me. I'm trying not to pick up the music so I don't get YouTube on top of me. Hey, if you guys got any questions, leave them in the comment sections. Hey, Pedro, how are you? I know you like those e-bike rides. You're one of the reasons I do them. I don't know why you're not getting notified. I know you said you had smashed the bell or whatever the kids are doing these days, but I did put it in my community page this morning, and then I also put it on um, the Marco Island Life Facebook page. I didn't put them on all the pages for Facebook, but yeah, good to good to see you, Pedro. Oh my gosh, watch out, Mike Watts in the house. Hey, Mike, how are you? Uh, so Louisiana has landed. All right, I'm going to go back to the sunset because here we go. zoom out so you can see a lot more of the colors. Isn't that awesome? It's going to be a beautiful one tonight. If you guys got any questions, ask. Got any questions about Marco or what's going on down here at South Beach? No, you're good. You're, yes, flags of the Gulf of America. I love it too. Tell Luann I had my Gulf of America shirt on today. And yeah, it was cool. Hey guys. Yeah, so in about, I don't know, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, we'll get sundown. And then people start creeping back. Um, there's a number of people at the Marco, or I'm sorry, at the JW Marriott down there. And you can see the gathering at Residence Beach. But there are more people at South Beach tonight. Here we go. There's looking down, or I'm sorry, there's looking north towards the JW Marriott, Residence Beach, Tiger Tail. Paul, I agree with you. Uh, that changes a lot, doesn't the speeds? Something a little more, something a little more consistent. I don't know. It makes you pay attention to the speed limit signs. However, they put on the Marco Island Facebook pages. The city will make posts and it says, like the weekly stats, how many calls they've had for noise complaints, and then how many were valid, and how many calls for the beach. Surprising number, large number of calls for help for the beach, and then also speeding. And I think there was like, I don't know, 20 or 30 traffic stops or tickets written over the course of the week, and I almost never see a car stopped behind, in front of a police car here. So uh, I'm probably just not spending a lot of time on Collier or some of the main avenues where it is. Thanks, Sabo Walker. I appreciate that. Is that Chris? Chris, is that you? I think it is. That's my educated guess. There we go. It's just about going in. Better stay on that. Yeah. Is it located in America or is it not? All I know is I'm standing on America, and the Gulf is 20 yards away from me. So yeah, Chris, how you doing, man? Steve, every morning, how far do you walk, Steve? Tell me that. And then do you usually walk on the hard pack, which is, kind of angled, or do you walk up on the beach, like right next to the soft sand? Because I can never make up my mind or what's good for my hips. If I'm walking one, I guess if you walk one way, you turn around, walk the other, you've evened it out. But what a beaut! You can almost see. Let me zoom in here and see if you can see that on the bottom. 2 miles on the hard pack. Good for you, Steve. That's awesome. Can you see that? Is that view coming in pretty good? I know 720p is as good as it gets on here, but yeah, you can see right at the bottom of each side of the sun. It looks like lava is pouring out of the sides as it hits the water. Has a skunk ape ever been seen on this beach? Okay, Steve, I need to know. Are you talking South Beach or are you talking the Marco Beach? Because I would say on South Beach, I don't think so, just because the high rises are scaring them away, keeping them away. But in the middle of the beach where it kind of thins out, I really can't say. We're looking right over the top of that gentleman's head, aren't we? Watch this here. Let me pick up, move to the side, come back down, sorry for the shakiness. The water temp, you know, Paul, I told myself in the past I was going to bring the meat thermometer and figure that out, but I don't know. It is extremely comfortable. and it's still at a refreshing level. It's not like you're getting into a. Oh, look at these two taking their selfies. That's cool. There we go. Hi, Janine. Okay. Yeah. Good, Steve. That's cool. Thanks, Robert. Yeah. Look for the green flash. There is a green flash sometimes. We're looking. It's down. Man, once it starts hitting, it goes down fast. Chris, I'm guessing you've seen the green flash before. Is it right after it disappears, or do you have to wait a little bit? Colors of the sky are awesome. Here we go. I'll zoom out and you can get a good look at the whole thing. So I'll show you. People scooting already. Right as the top hits water. Okay, good. I did not know that. I got to look for that. I've heard of the green flash, but I didn't know what point. That would be awesome. Chris has been here forever, so uh, I know that he's seen plenty of green flashes. Chris was here. I know Chris was here so long ago that they used to party on the beach, have bonfires on the beach, spend the night on the beach. My telling tales out of school, Chris? No, don't be doubtful. Hey, I've never seen a skunk ape, but I'm not doubtful. So uh, it is emptying out quick tonight. I saw Joey and Aaron as we walked in. They were doing a sunset shoot. Always good to see them. Those guys are icons of Marco, and it just never gets more pleasant when I run into them. They're so nice. They set a great example for me. They're so freaking nice. I don't know, Steve. Skunk ape more likely than green flash. Let's look north and see how much it's cleared out. Paul, yes, I do have a Micah pass. Yeah, the parking lot's nice. And I actually tonight parked in Sarazan Park, Micah parked down here at the south end, even though we've got some other parking right across the street at Seaview condominiums that we can use. But bye, Chris. Good seeing you, man. We'll see you at Duncan. Absolutely. But yeah, normally I do these live streams from Residence Beach, but I thought I'd change it up because I thought it'd be a little bit more crowded down here tonight, and people like to see different things. So I don't want to get stuck in a rut. But next time, I'm going to do these a little more often. And next time, I'm going to pick a different spot, try to change it up, and maybe I won't even announce it. I'll just kind of do it from different spots. People can kind of check in and see. There's where the sun was. So what's cool is for plenty of time, for a long time after the sunset, you still get these beautiful sky colors. Okay, well, we've been here 30 minutes, and sunset has been a very nice one. So I think what we'll do is I'll just sign off. Thanks. We had a number of people on here. Appreciate the nice comments and the questions. those are always good. You know, a lot of these live streams, they get, hey, Rick, I'll read this here. Rick says, thanks, we're here in Buffalo. Oh, cool. Be back in March. Good. Get here soon, Rick. Get here soon. I know a number of people from Buffalo that are here, and our neighbors actually about 3 doors down. They're from Buffalo. So, but I appreciate all the comments. You know, this video, it will live on. It will turn into a YouTube video, and actually, you get more people that watch it later instead of the lives. I try to advertise them a little bit right up front, but it just kind of is what it is, and uh, I like showing this to the people that are interested. The reason I do this mostly, other than it being a hobby, is because I like to bring Marco Island to the people that love Marco uh, and can't be here all the time. Or specifically, I really like to show the things around Marco that people that are older or maybe can't get out of their condos or just don't have the access or the mobility as much. I like to show them the island that they're on and give them access to those things as well. And the feedback is that they appreciate it. I was contacted by the Watermark, which is the new senior living and memory care facility on Marco, and it is quite the resort. Matter of fact, I know somebody who just put their mom in there, and they live about 2 blocks away from us. And he said he just put his mom in there, but he wants to go live there. It's that nice. And so they asked me if I'd be interested in doing a video, and it was already on my list. So I'm going to get in there soon, get a video done, and hopefully you guys will find it interesting because I'm curious. I'd like to see what things look like on the inside. With that said, I'm going to sign off and say goodnight. Again, my name's Tom. Thank you for joining me tonight, and we'll see you in the next video.